Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to do a chair yoga class that is focused on balance as well as a full body stretch and strengthening. I hope you enjoy it and namaste. Thanks for joining.
So go ahead and sit comfortably, and look down, and make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. And if you were to draw an imaginary line across your toes, you would not have one foot further in front of the line than the other foot. Okay? They would be even and level. You want your feet very flat on the floor, so if you need to move forward at all in the chair, go ahead and do so. And then press the heels down a lot. Right? So remember, when you press those heels down, you should feel engagement occurring in the legs, the thighs. And the toes are going to lift up, and you're just going to spread the toes nice and wide and then very gently place them back down. But notice your default. So, are you somebody who leans forward, like myself? I'm always leaning forward. Are you somebody who slouches back? Okay, just notice where you are. And then you're going to start to rock on your sits bones on your pelvis, kind of forward and back. So essentially, you're rounding the low back and you're arching the low back and you're loosening that space up. And then try to find your neutral. Right? So, where are you not leaning back, but also not leaning forward? And you stick it. Awesome. Pull the low belly in, lift up from the pubic bone all the way up to the notch of the collarbones, and then let the shoulders just roll back and down gently. Beautiful. Let the eyes close. Notice if you feel like your head and face is jutting forward. If so, draw the chin back. Find a little bit of length in the back of the neck. This is called seated Tadasana or seated mountain pose. It's proper seated posture. And we'll start with our 3 sighs. So 3 times. Breathing in through the nose, open the mouth, sigh through the mouth. After you take those 3 sighs, take your time. Start to bring the breath in and out through your nose. And for the rest of our class and the rest of our time together, let the breath stay slow. The past probably 5 or 6 weeks, I think, we have been working on just slowing it down, moving the body slower, breathing a little deeper so that we have more of an opportunity to feel what's really happening. Good. Go ahead and slowly let the eyes begin to flutter back open. Awesome. Reach your arms straight out to the side. So if this is uncomfortable, you can always bring your arms down a little bit. That's an option for you. And we're just going to take some circles going back and around. Okay. I would say they're medium-sized circles. Okay, so they're not teeny tiny, but they're not huge either. You should feel your upper back moving, right? A little bit of engagement when those arms go back. And keeping your breath deep and long. It's really important. Good. Give those arms and the back a break. Place your hands right on top of your knees. We're going to come into our cat-cows here. For those of you that are not dropping your head today, just know that for your exhalation, you can kind of do like this, and you can keep your head lifted. Okay, so you can still round the back, but keep the head lifted if that feels better for you today. So as you exhale, you round that back. Let the head drop if you are today. As you inhale, you arch the back one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Remember, your breath is deep and you're moving the body to the breath. So there's this very slow rhythm. Let's do one more full breath and exhale and inhale. And after that full breath, coming right into those barrel rolls. So just remember barrel rolls, like you're rolling your rib cage in a circle. Think about either your belly button or your waist being the part that's doing the movement, right? So the shoulders move, yes. The hips sway a little bit, yes. But the movement is initiated from the middle of the torso. And it feels lovely for anybody that has back pain. Good. You can let your head kind of roll a little bit too, and that helps to loosen up the neck. So I find naturally if my ribs are poking to one side, my head wants to go to the other side. And then you're going to reverse it, other direction. Something to pay attention to is if this side feels just as smooth, know that your body always goes the same direction first. Creatures of habit, we are. So this side sometimes is a little more challenging. Good. Yes. Slow it down. And then bringing yourself back into that kind of neutral position, that seated Tadasana. Awesome. Coming back to the arms, just wanted to give them a quick little bit of a break. All right. Right arm down by your side. Good. Left hand can stay right here on your thigh. You're just going to lift it up as far as it goes comfortably. Try to keep the elbow really straight. You're going to turn the palm away and then bring it down. Good. If you do breath with this, you inhale as you reach it up. Yep. And you exhale as you bring it down. And think about your fingers moving through jello, right? Or honey or humidity down in the tropics, right? So there's a little bit of pull. Beautiful. Use the breath. So at the very top, that inhale is super deep and the arm is lifted. That helps you stretch a little more in this side body. Good. We're going to do one more. All right, let's go on over to the other side. So left arm down. As you inhale, reach that arm up. Keep the elbows straight as possible. As you exhale, bring it back down. Right? So your fingertips are moving through something thick, molasses. Uh, Going deep inhales as that arm reaches. Get that good stretch right here in that side body. Nice and slow, not rushing through anything. And remember that this side might be different than the other side. Your arm might lift higher or not as high. It might feel different. Okay. What's important is that you stop when your body says, that's good. That's enough. Good. We're going to do one more, last one here. It. All righty. So bring your feet about hip distance, a little wider than hip distance apart if you can. We're going to do our shimmy twist. I'm still waiting for comments on an alternative name for it because it's really not a great name for it. But fingertips on the inside of the thighs, heel of the hand on top of the thighs. As you exhale, bring one shoulder down and forward. As you inhale, bring it back up. But as you exhale, other side. And you inhale, you bring it back up. So the breath is deep, which means that the movement is slow. Beautiful. The last side here. After you do that last side, take your time. We'll meet back in the center. Bring the feet back to hip distance apart. We're going to work a little bit on the core because the big thing that we're going to do standing up, I need your core pretty activated. So you're going to reach your arms out to the side, right? Keep your chest up, right? So I'm not slouching down, but I'm pressing my sits bones down in the middle. I'm lifting my chest up, reaching through my fingertips. Belly's pulled in nice and tight. Go ahead and lift your right leg. Hold it up in the air if you can. Breathe. Bring it down. Go to the other side. Lift the left leg. Hold it in the air if you can. Breathe. And put it back down. We're going to do that again on the right side. Lift it up. Maybe lift it a little higher. Keep the chest up though. Beautiful. Bring it back down. And other side. Lift it up. Maybe a little higher. Good. And bring it back down. Perfect. Arms are going to come down. We have not done this in a long time, and we're going to do it today. We're going to do the standing up into chair, sitting back down, where we do that 3 times. Okay, so I'll show you one time, then we'll all do it together. It'll look very much like this. Feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to reach my arms forward. I'm going to come up into a chair pose. So I'm literally just hopping up just a little tiny amount. Okay. I'm going to make sure I know where my chair is, and I'm going to sit back down. Okay. We're just going to do that 3 times. On the 3rd time, we actually stand all the way up. So reach the arms out, pull the belly in. Good. Lean forward, press and just lift a little bit. You're in your chair pose. Squeeze that imaginary block between the inner thighs, and then sit back down in your real chair. Awesome. We're going to do it again. Lean forward, press the feet down, lift it up just a little bit. Good. Talk about leg strength. Whoop, whoop. Good. Have a seat. Awesome. And this is the last one. We're going to come into our chair pose. Strong legs keep you balanced when you walk. You're amazing. You're warriors. You're goddesses. Whoop, whoop. And then inhale, reach it all the way up. Awesome. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Love it. All right. So grab some water as always. We're going to go into some sun salutations. If you have socks, it's usually smart to take them off. Perfect. All right. Yep. So your chair is going to face your body here. Looks like good. Everybody is set up. So I always like to do standing mountain pose first, Tadasana. So look down at your feet. They're hip distance apart. You have that imaginary line going across the toes. One foot is not further in front of the other foot. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel where your weight is on your feet. If when you sit, you're someone who leans forward, a lot of times your weight is more on the front of your foot. If that's the case, lift your toes up, bring your weight into your heels. Don't fall back. If your weight is in your heels, very likely your back is rounded, shoulders are forward. Press the feet down, right? Press the balls of the feet down, lift the chest up, roll those shoulders back. Stand proud. Then let the eyes open back up. Press the feet down a lot, engage the legs. Pretend there's a block between your inner thighs. You're squeezing that block. So another way to say that is take the feet and draw them towards each other without actually lifting them up and moving them. You should feel a lot of engagement in the legs there. Good. Inhale, you're going to reach those arms up. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Fold from the hip crease. Good. Bend your right knee and you're going to twist to the left. Right, so left arm can lift up, or you can modify and just put your left hand on your hip. That feels better for you. Good. Bring yourself back to center. Go to the other side. Bend the left knee. Reach the right arm. Modify. Put it on the hip. Good. Bring it back to center. So those of you who are not dropping your head today, you can stay right here in this position. Your head can stay level or you can look forward. All right, everybody come on back to downward facing dog. You can also do downward facing dog with your head lifted like so, if that feels okay on your neck. Right? You don't want to cringe the neck too much either. So pick which one of those feels better. Couple big breaths here. Just sigh out through the mouth. Good. Look forward. Bring the right leg forward. Bend your right knee and drop your left heel down. So you're coming into warrior one pose. Good. Remember, you can keep your hands on the chair. You can make it a little more challenging. Put your hands on the back of the chair. You can make it more challenging. Lift your chest up. Put your hands on your hips. or you can reach the arms up into the air. Right? Knee safety, make sure you can see that right big toe. Knee should be pointing towards the second toe. And just breathe here. Okay. Push a lot through the back leg, massively through the back leg. And that takes so much pressure off of the front leg. Remember that every time you're in Warrior One. Good. Go ahead and place the hands onto the chair. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Unless you're modifying in forward fold. And then we're going to bring it on over to the other side. So the left leg's coming forward. Warrior One. Bend that left knee. Make sure that the right heel is down, back heel. Find your hand position. Determine where you want it to be. Remember, there's no right and there's no wrong, okay, for where your hands need to be today. Push back a lot through the right leg, a ton. That right thigh is pushing back, the right heel is pushing down. It'll give you so much more stability. Good. All right. Take those hands down to the seat of the chair. Come back into forward fold. And then you're going to come into a chair pose. If you want to just take a rest and forward fold, then you can take a rest and forward fold. Otherwise, lift the toes, bring your weight back into the heels, bend those knees, let the hips drop. Chair pose. Belly's in, ribs are pulled back. Low back is long. Good. Everybody inhale, rise and shine. Bring it all the way up. And exhale, take it to the heart. Good. Let's get a little neck stretch in. Grab behind your back, clasp your hands, roll the shoulders back, and then take your hands and draw them towards the floor. Okay, so this is the trick to keep your shoulders from lifting up in a neck stretch. Awesome. Chin comes towards the chest. Just gently rock it side to side. Rock your head to the left, to the right. Next time your chin comes to the chest, you're just going to lift the head back up. And then we'll come into another sun salutation, a little faster this time. Inhale, reach the arms. As you exhale, forward fold. Right hand on the chair, bend the right knee, lift the left arm for a twist. Good, switcheroo, other side, bend the left knee, lift that right arm, twist. Awesome, bring it back to center, walk it on back, down dog, unless you're modifying. Take a sigh or two. Feel, where do you let go? Where do you relax? Great, look forward. Warrior One on the right side, right leg's forward, right knee's bent. Good. If your arms are not on the chair, clasp them behind your back, but take the alternate clasp of what you had a moment ago, meaning whatever pointer finger is on top, make it the other one. It should feel super weird. If it doesn't feel weird, then you're not doing it right. Good. Good, because we always clasp the same way. Let those shoulders roll back. And then see if you can push into the left heel, but then at the same time, push your right knee forward while letting your hips come forward. So it's almost like your shoulders go back and your hips come forward a little, and you'll get a totally different stretch. A lot of times it's more in the hip flexor. And you breathe. Left leg pushes back, right knee pushes forward. Beautiful. Release the clasp of your hands if they are clasped. Then place your hands onto the chair and come back into your transition pose. So downward facing dog, again, unless you're modifying, forward fold. Ah, take some sighs. Good. Left leg forward, right? Warrior one on the other side. Left leg is bent, right leg's back. If your hands are not in the chair, again, clasp your hands behind the back. Whatever clasp you take this time is fine. Roll those shoulders back. Good. And then as you push the right thigh back, see if you can push that left knee forward. Right. So it's not just pushing the knee forward and leaning forward. You're actually kind of doing the opposite. You're pushing the knee forward and you're letting the shoulders come back a little bit. So the hips actually move forward. I was just going to say, think of your thigh being attached to your pelvis. Well, it actually is, right? Let them move together in one piece. Awesome. Release that clasp. Take the hands to the chair. Everybody come into that forward fold. And then stay in forward fold unless you want to take a chair pose. Lift those toes, bring the weight into the heels. Chair pose. Right, so the ribs pull back. The low back is long. I'm not lifting my tailbone, right? Think of your tailbone like a third leg energetically going down. Beautiful. Inhale, rise and shine. Take those arms up over the head. Exhale, bring it to the heart. Good. Take your left hand down by your side. Lift your right arm up nice and high. Go ahead and exhale. Just lean over to the left a little bit. Stay here a moment. Keep reaching with the right fingertips. Getting a stretch in that spot that's kind of underneath the armpit area here. Good. Bring yourself all the way back up. And then bend that right elbow. Take your hand and grab the left side of the head. Roll that left shoulder back and down. And then drop your right ear to the right shoulder. And a little neck stretch again. Important to breathe slowly, deeply, mindfully. Awesome. Release that. Take that right arm down by your side. Reach the left arm up nice and high. As you exhale, just lean over to the right, standing half moon. Keep breathing, getting a good stretch in that left side body here. Awesome. Bring it all the way back up. Roll the right shoulder back. Left hand grabs the right side of the head. And you just draw that left shoulder and left ear towards one another. Big breaths. Right? Everything other than your head and that left arm should be in Tadasana, mountain pose. You're really pressing through the feet. The legs are engaged. The chest is high. Good. Release that. Reach both arms up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Good. Bend the right knee, twist to the left. Awesome. Switch sides. Bend the left knee, twist to the right. Bring it back to center. Walk it on back, down dog. Good. Bring the right leg forward. Warrior one on the right side here. Whatever you want to do with your arms this time is fine. Keep them in the chair, put them on your hips, reach behind your back, put them in the air. Right? But focus again on pushing back through the left leg, okay? And pushing forward, think of pushing from your right buttock forward through the right knee to get a little bit deeper. And notice how that changes what's going on in the front of the left leg. Very nice. Go ahead and take the hands down. Step it all back again, downward facing dog. It's your transition. The left leg's going to come forward, warrior one on this side. And if you want to put your hands up, put them on your hips. If you want to keep them on the chair, it's all good. All right, I want you to focus more on what's happening with the hips. So pressing the right thigh back. And you're taking, think of from your left buttock, you're pushing that forward to bend the left knee more, right? Pushing from that spot and really lifting the chest high. You get this beautiful stretch in the psoas and the hip flexor on that right side. I know I hear a lot of people wanting to work on posture and stretching the tight psoas and this tight hip flexor is definitely helpful for posture. Good. All right, everybody come into a forward fold, hands on the chair. And this is what we've been working towards coming up right here. All righty, so you are going to take your right leg behind you. If you can lift your right leg up into the air, do that. Okay. We're going to do this a little bit dynamically. So now I want you to put your right leg down, and then you're going to lift your left leg behind you. So if you need to keep your toes on the ground, that's fine. If you can lift the left leg all the way up, go for it. Good. And then you're going to bring that left leg down. You're going to go back to the right side, lift the right leg. Good. And then you're going to go to the left side again. Lift the left leg. And then you're going to go back to the right leg. I'm going to give you an additional option here. So right leg is lifted. If you want to, you can reach your left arm out to the side. It's called awkward airplane. And it's a balance. This is part of our balance today. Also, a lot of work really in every part of the body. Your glute, your balance, your core, your shoulder, your leg, and you breathe. Good. Bring it back to center, forward fold. We're going to go to the other side. So letting that left leg come behind you now. If you want to, remember it's only optional. Right arm comes out to the side. Think of awkward airplane. slow, deep breaths. Right? So part of why we breathe slow and deep is because it actually helps you to not tense muscles that don't need to be tense. Good. Bring it back to center. We're going to do one more time. A right leg behind you. You can just do the right leg. If you want a little bit more, you can do a couple things with your left arm. Maybe you reach it out to the side like you did a moment ago. Maybe you reach it back, right? Think of like you're flying. Woo. Good. Bring it back down. And then last time, other side. Left leg reaches back. You can keep it right here. This is plenty of work. If you want more, right arm can reach out to the side, or you can bring it back like you're flying. Good. Bring yourself back to forward fold. Last chance for a chair if you wanted to take it. If you don't want to take it, just chill in forward fold. You are, come on into that chair pose. Reach the arms out in front of you. Good. If you're in chair, squeeze those inner thighs, draw the feet towards each other. Okay. You're going to bring your hands to heart center. You're going to take them back out in front of you. We're going to do it 2 more times. You're going to bring your hands to heart center. You're going to reach them back out in front of you. One last time here. You're going to bring those hands to heart center. Think of love, peace, happiness. Reach it back out. Very good. Everybody inhale, rise and shine. And exhale, take it back to the heart. Beautiful. From here, look at something that's not moving. If you know that you need some support for tree pose, which is a balance pose, then go ahead and come next to a wall or next to your chair. If you don't need support, just stay right where you are. Spread the right toes nice and wide. Go ahead and come either to kickstand with the left leg. So toes are on the floor, heels above the right ankle. Perhaps you come to your calf. Perhaps you take that left foot on that right inner thigh. Good. Push down a lot through the right foot. Lift the chest high. Breathe slower if you can. Maybe reach the arms that feels like something you want to do today. But don't move your eyeballs around, right? Look at one thing, not moving. Awesome. Slowly bring yourself back to center, standing. And then we're going to go to the other side. So again, if you're using some support, make sure that support is available to you. Good. Spread the left toes wide. Come to kickstand. That's your first option. Toes down, heels above the ankle. Come to your calf. Or perhaps you come to the inner thigh. Still looking at that something that's not moving. Noticing your breath, right? So when we do something that's hard, balancing is hard, a lot of times we hold our breath or the breath gets really shallow. And so doing hard things like this while focusing on taking deep, slow breaths reminds your brain and your memory to do it when you're going through hard times out in the wild. You want to reach the arms, you can. Good. Bring those hands back to heart if they're not already. And slowly let yourself release out of that. Good job, ladies. All right, let's do a few hip circles and then you'll get to go lay down and we'll have a little fun, a little relaxing. All right, so feet pretty wide and you are just making those big circles, right? So again, maybe slower than you usually do. That's that's been the mantra for the past month and a half here. Just slow it down. Good. Right, let the shoulders, kind of like when we were doing those barrel rolls when we were sitting down and your head moved in the opposite direction. Think of your shoulders moving in the opposite direction from the direction of the hips. And then you're going to reverse it, of course, and you're going to go around the other direction. But there's no rush through it. Good. Probably about one more circle here, depending on how fast you're going. Ah, good. All right. So hopefully your bodies feel good. Um, you are going to go find somewhere that's comfortable and let yourself relax. Bye, Heather. Great to see you. All right. So you can, Kim, I know this is your first um, chair class. So at the end of the class, I give about 10 to 15 minutes um, to do a guided relaxation, guided meditation. Today we're working on breath work. So you just want to go somewhere that's comfortable. Okay. Go to a lazy boy, lay in your bed and cover up with blankets. A lot of times people fall asleep, and that's great, and that's fine. You can lay down on the floor. The idea is that I don't want you to physically be holding yourself up. I don't want any muscular tension. So I want you to be completely and totally supported. Give you a few moments to get to that spot. And once you are in a comfortable position where you feel like you are completely supported, you'll gently let your eyes close and just begin with a couple deep breaths in through the nose and then gently out through the mouth. And then from this point forward, allow your breath to just come in through the nose and also out through the nose. And you're going to begin to count to yourself the duration of your inhale, of your exhale, and of the pause that occurs between the inhale and the exhale. So, how long are each of those? Now, anytime that I do breath guidance and I ask you to count to a particular number, I like for everybody to know that you can count as fast or as slow as you need for that number to work with your breath. What is important is that the rhythm or the cadence of the inhale and the pause and the exhale, the counting for all of those is the same. So you might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So with that, I'd like for you to begin counting 4 on the inhale, 4 on the pause, and 4 on the exhale. Allow yourself to create a steady, gentle rhythm. And when your mind drifts off into thinking, just acknowledge that and then bring the attention back to your breath and back to the counting of your breath. Now, if you're doing this for breath and this feels like it is enough for you and you want to stay here and work, then you stay here. If you want to go a little bit further, then you're going to continue to count in to 4. Okay. I want you to see, can you pause for 5? And then can you exhale for 6? And noticing if the mind drifts away, ever so gently bringing the attention back to the breath and back to the count. Now, if you are comfortable here with this count and you want to stay, of course, stay. If you want to go into the full breath technique, this is called the 4-7-8 breath. You inhale for a count of 4. You pause for 7. And then you exhale for a count of 8. Something I like to do when I'm lingering in that pause, whether you're lingering in it for a count of 4 or 5 or 7, it doesn't matter. But when you're in that pause, see if you can pay attention to where the breath is in the torso, where the rib cage is expanded, and see if in that pause you can shift the breath around a little bit in the lungs. It's very subtle, but it can be felt internally. In that pause, breathe it in, pause, and then you just see where am I not really expanded? Can I shift my breath into that space that is stuck? And then on my exhale, can I relax that space where there's not breath and prana and energy moving? Can I relax it so that on the next inhale, I can bring a little bit more breath, a little bit more energy into that stagnant space. But it's during that pause, which is why the pause is so essential, where you can feel where the imbalances are. Where am I expanding greatly when I breathe in? Okay, feel that. But where in my rib cage am I not expanding? Where is my breath not moving? Okay, you realize that, and then you breathe out and you let the musculature and the energy around that space soften. And then when you breathe in again, you, with intention, draw some of that breath without force, without strain. You draw some of that breath into that stagnant place. And then you pause and you do it all over again. Okay, did it reach there? Do I need to keep working on this spot? If so, you continue to work to soften. Or perhaps you open up in that space, and then in that pause, you recognize that there are other places that aren't expanding quite as much. And you continue to play with that. I'm going to let you play with this as long as you like. If you feel really um, rested, like you want to nap, go for the nap. Take it. When you do come back, You come back slowly, just wiggling the fingers and the toes, and rolling the wrists and the ankles. And you come out of it gently, with a new gentle awareness. I will end by saying thank you for your presence, your time, your trust, peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, and peaceful intention. Namaste.